I feel reality-based self-defense is the entire concept of violence. So right from the beginning of what something's gonna happen, all the way to court. So I feel that most gyms really focus on just the fight as the fight started. So he's gonna punch me, now I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna do that. We don't talk about why he was gonna punch me, what happens to my body when he's gonna punch me, or the aftermath of that. If I get attacked by people, if there's other attackers, or if maybe I'm using too much force and I'm going to court. How do I justify that?
Oftentimes, self-defense could be measured in a lot of different ways. We just look at the physical side, of course, but at the same time, the psychological side is really what affects us the most. Did we do the right thing? Oh God, I hope I didn't hurt that guy. Oh, what am I gonna do in this situation? And we beat ourselves up because of how we beat somebody else up on a physical note. That's why we don't want to be malicious. We want to be able to answer everything in our heart and our soul without being a malicious person. Once we defend ourselves physically, the reality is we have to defend ourselves emotionally, psychologically, financially, legally, morally, ethically, spiritually. All those factors kind of come into play. If we defend ourselves physically, now we got the police involved, we've got an attorney involved. Now, all those things, we may go to jail. Are there witnesses? And if there's witnesses, how did they perceive that self-defense coming into play? Did it look like self-defense, or was I raising my voice and I look like the instigator? So a lot of those factors kind of come into play. If I go to jail, who's paying the bills? You know, if I don't go to jail, who's paying the bills? So I'm either giving money to an attorney and not making a house payment, or I'm in jail and I can't make a house payment. So now self-defense is protecting your family, you know, and protecting all those elements that allow life to continue on without being disrupted. And, you know, so a simple conflict can turn into a nightmare for not only you, but the rest of your family.
If you're not teaching self-defense law, you shouldn't be teaching self-defense. You're teaching fighting, and fighting is not defensible in court.
People focus on the physical. It's not hard to hurt people. It's not hard to injure people. It's not hard to kill them. It's not hard to cripple them. Almost all the issues are emotional and mental. It's making yourself do it. You can debrief hundreds and hundreds of people who were attacked. And at some point, especially guys, that will go, I knew I needed to do this at this point, but for whatever reason, I couldn't make myself do it. People get destroyed emotionally and they get destroyed mentally, not physically. The physical skills are dead simple, and it's just geometry and physics.
Get with someone who's really legitimate and knows what they're doing, and it's going to teach on both sides of the fence, kind of speak. What you can do and what you can't do, and then it's up to you when you know the balance. Then you have to make that decision yourself. Everything's going to change. You're going to have a lot of adrenaline flowing, a lot of nervousness, excitement. So, but in all of that, you have to find a balance. So you don't become the attacker. You stay defending yourself.
Ideally, reality-based self-defense would be based on research into real attacks that really happen. That's what it should be. Very, very few people are doing that. They're trying to adapt something they're good at, their martial arts or whatever, and then trying to make it all things to all people. And in order for it to be science, you'd have to design an experiment. You have to get 50 college students and give them a stressful test, and 50 college students and come after them with axes. And that's never going to pass a university ethics board. So the experimental science in this, the actual science in this, is very, very weak, very minimal. What we wind up with is self-reporting. People telling stories, people gathering information from stories. But you've been under an adrenaline rush. How accurate was your memory?
Not very good.
Okay.
Not very good.
Right, so you get the people, so we get the people that have done it 100 times. Okay, they've got their adrenaline under control, their memory is good, especially if they had to write a lot of freaking reports. Did your 100th match? Did you learn shit that can help someone in their first match?
No.
It's different stuff because you're a different person. So everything in here is always going to be really, really squishy.
The statistics, according to the FBI, going up in certain areas and certain situations. Sometimes it goes down, but it's mostly going up or staying the same. So I think that's a concern about people that they have. And, you know, people used to sit on the front porch. Now they sit on the back with a big fence around there. People don't know their neighbors as much as they did.
Martial arts has created this fantasy, and movies do it too, that you can engage Jason Bourne, and the guy can run your head through a concrete wall and everything, and in the next scene, you don't even have a blister, a bruise, or a black eye, and you're scoring with the hot chicks. So you're the badass, gets all the chicks, but the truth is, you're probably in a hospital, you probably don't have a job, you probably got some lawsuit against you, you probably got some criminal charges against you. You know, the things that I could get away with 30 years ago or 40 years ago, chasing girls in bars and stuff, ain't what's happening today.